All right, we're back in the recording. Hello, everybody, for the roleplay training session. I'm Sonolar. This is TDOG, also known as Andrew, and we're gonna see, how well he role plays, go over the rules of what 40 roleplay like entails, and see if we can get most of it done in like a 20-minute block, 30-minute block, that kind of deal. And after that, have a bit of time to review it. And yeah, and the purpose for that is to allow people have an opportunity to try it out without without having the first step being bring it to your friends and show them, oh, I've heard of this new rule set, and trying to figure it out live, while it might be a bit hard for people to understand the first time. Give them a chance to practice without any of the pressure of a live game. All right, thank you for joining, Andrew.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah, I think something that you said a while back in one of your videos I was actually watching was having to like integrate it with my players. Like I think I've shown them a little bit of it, and I've kind of given them some ideas, and I've gotten mixed reviews on it as
Yeah,
well, because it is a little bit of a challenge and stress to kind of put on your players. So yeah,
yeah, absolutely. That's the big thing of, oh, you expect me to like suddenly learn 12 new rules that are non-negotiable, a
yeah,
situation, and the players, they have to sign up on it. You cannot push it from the top down onto the players like, oh, this is the new law, by the way. I know you didn't agree, you didn't vote for it, but it is what it is.
yeah,
It's
yeah, pretty much.
so let's see. We are using a 2d6 system, and the reason for that is I don't want the player to worry about how the role-playing game works, because usually at the table you know the rules, or you're learning the rules, whether it's Traveler or D&D or Warhammer 40k, whatever you're playing. But to learn how to role play, we are removing that aspect completely. Replace it with a 2d6. So if you roll like from 0 to 7, it's a failure. A 7 to 9, it's like a partial success. So you get the thing, but maybe something else happens that's not good for you. And I will leave that up to you to determine, depending on the role. And if you can think of something, I can also jump in and have something happen in the world that might be inconvenient. And with a 10 plus, you get success. You get to have the cake and eat it. And just describe to me how amazing your character is in that situation. On top of that, you will have a modifier. Gain a +1 to your roll if you're good, if you're competent in the skill. And get a +3 on your roll if this is your specialty. If this is what you were made for. So if you are the warrior striking with your sword, you get the +3. If you're like a wandering merchant, you get the +1. Because you might have to protect yourself, but it's not your specialty. And if you think it's something you're incompetent in, like it's out of your wheelhouse, take a -1 on the roll. So it should be pretty straightforward. Any questions so far, or does that sound good?
No, I'm assuming I would assign those to certain skills.
No, the skills is we make them up as we go along.
Okay, gotcha.
So let's talk about what do you like to role play. I want to know your wheelhouse so we can role play in a setting or in a tone that you're most comfortable in to make it easier.
Okay. So I mean, I personally love high fantasy, or I love fantasy realm, more of Lord of the Rings style. It's easier for me to kind of imagine and come up with story stuff compared to a lot of the other genre or areas. So yeah, usually my go-to.
All right, high fantasy, like really the noble hero, and
Yep.
the orcs are bad. They're the armies of the Uruk-hai, not really a
Hmm.
party you wish to negotiate with.
Yep. Yeah, I think I like doing a lot of more what happened during that fight, or what was it like, or what was the experience. Like I don't like to do a lot of the heroes killed the dragon kind of story. I like the in the war, in the fight, around other people, kind of like real life, like fantasy or real life, like medieval time kind of stuff.
Oh, like the on the perspective from the people, how they react with the crisis and
Yep.
events that are happening in the world. Oh, I like that. Let's start. I know where to start already.
Yep.
Just so I'm setting the scene, and you can have a moment to tell me about the kind of character you're thinking of. It is the harbor city.
Yep.
We can call it Harborage. That's what it is known for. It's a massive port city that connects this Middle Earth. Like it doesn't have to be Lord of the Rings, but that kind of
Yeah.
tone. I'm gonna call it Aventuria, so we are not crossing the beams too strongly. Harbor
What are
City
you
in
calling it?
Aventuria. That's the Earth you live on. In Harbor City, as a big fog is rolled in, and most of the city folk have evacuated at this point. The city has been under siege by boats that have traveled across and broken down the defenses. It was given up, but on the 12th hour, the king decreed that a nobleman and his retinue of army must return and retake the city. It is a doomed quest, and the soldiers are setting up against the walls of broken down stores and buildings at the from the wharf to the docks throughout the city. People are spelling their last prayers.
Yep. Are we going then?
Yeah, tell me about your character if you want if I need to know anything about it.
Yeah. So I'm just going to name him Michael. He can be somewhat the leader of this garrison. He is very just kind of devoid. He tries to stay away from a lot of the connecting himself to whatever's taking place to try to keep focus on the direction of the mission.
Early in the morning, thick fog everywhere. From a retinue of about 600 soldiers, a foghorn can be heard across the waters. It's the ships approaching. One of the other's shoulders freaks out. His eyes go wide. He's clutching an amulet, saying, "Impestor, protect me, please." It's like his lips are quivering.
I walk up to him and I say to him, "What are our chances here?"
I, chances? I don't know what the king is thinking. He must be mad. I don't know what we've done to wrong him. This is. I'm gonna die, aren't I, Michael?
No, no, you won't die. Just just stay in a safe barricaded area. You should be fine.
He
I look at
nods.
him. I look at him, kind of checking his equipment, what he's wearing, to kind of understand who he is.
He got his arming sword, his armament itself ready. A chainmail was handed to him. It's too big for him to walk around in, quite noisy. Too poor to be given a breastplate, a bucket for a helmet, just roughly dented out. A lot of the soldiers being conscripts, very few veterans among them that have survived previous fights.
I look at all of them and I say, we are undercover right now. We are safe, but we won't be very soon. Right out there, and I point down the road to where our threat is, we will be facing them. You can return, or we can die here. Those both are our choice. Get ready. Whatever you have, I don't care. But you will fight, each and every one of you. And like I said, you will either die here or you'll return. Do I have you? I look at it of all the men.
Several of them reply with, "Yes, Captain, yes, Captain." Some of them are solemn, don't say anything, but they meet your gaze to acknowledge the command.
I look at a lot of the men, older, younger, some very young. And kind of ponder on some of the memories of my life before, my family, my neighbors, my kids. And then I look over in the direction of the road ahead of me.
The fog,
Consider the creatures that I'm going to be facing.
the fog's are thick, the road leading to the harbor itself, unable to defend the area, too exposed to catapults on the ships. The waves can be heard rolling louder and louder, approaching of ships as behind the fog itself, you can hear audibly in the air, letting down boarding ramps onto the docks. Marching noises. And some of the soldiers whispered back to each other, "They're here." One of the older ones says, "Get ready. Prepare the crossbow." You hear the crankings, loading up of bolts. People are shoveling on their feet silently. A couple setting up behind the walls, pressing their backs against it to stay hidden. The sword up and ready.
I look around.
Your retinue, 8 people for your small squad. Other captains deeper into the city, outside of visual, within the dense fog.
I step forward. I start working ahead. I look back to the men. I signal for them to move, follow my lead, those that are following me. Trying to get a better vantage of this ship that has come in. I have my weapon prepared up against me, my large crossbow.
You got your retinue following, silent steps, a couple of them clanking with their misfit armor, couple crossbowmen, some spearmen, swords and shields given out as backups. You got the group totally forming right behind you.
I look back at them with a strong gaze, confident, focused, and I just nod at them.
They
And
nod.
then I look forward and I continue on, looking through the fog.
Roll me a perception check.
I think about the 7. I think about how young they are, how old they are, how weak and untrained they are. I can't focus on what's ahead of me. I keep trying to check my heavy crossbow, but my hand's shaking.
Clashing of swords can be heard as outcries of the first man out in the distance. In the fog, another captaincy has clashed with the enemy. The grunting of orcs, clashing of steel. The other men are shaken, they're quivering, like some of them are whispering, "What was that?" They get real jumpy.
I don't look back toward my men. Move forward. Let's go. Don't think. Don't give yourself time to think.
At this moment, two orcs step through the fog directly, long claymores wielding on them. They're striving forward and stop the moment, having visual on you, a small moment to identify that the enemy is right in front of them. And the one orc looks to the other one and opens his mouth.
I fire my crossbow.
Make a roll.
Nine. It bursts through the air, and it goes right into his shoulder. And then I yell back at my men, "One after the next, let's go! Move forward! Don't be afraid!"
The orc stumbles back onto his feet and yells out, "Urukalash!" Raises his claymore, and more members can be seen silhouetted
Damn
in the
monster.
fog. They charge towards you, clash your swords as you soldiers block the first strike. You have an opening. Two of them in direct mortal combat with your retinue.
I drop my crossbow, pull out my sword, and I rush toward the first. I want my people that are following me to see my confidence in my attack. I bring up my sword up high and I cleave it at this orc. It's a fail.
Raising the weapon, the orc raises his gauntleted hand, letting go the claymore, wielding it with one hand to punch your arm. It hurts and deflects your strike, missing him wildly, telegraphing too much of the attack. He goes for a pummeling strike to your sternum to knock the wind out of your air. A 7.
I quickly dodge out of the way. I can't let them see me like this. I gotta take this head off this creature. I once again step close up to this orc. I pull my blade up high and I stick it as far as I can up against his throat with my swing, hoping to chop it right off. It's going to be an 8.
An 8. He reads the movement again, moving out of the way, but a gash across his breast appears, trying to jump back from the blade itself. The retinue, some of them stabbing with spears past you, landing a hit. The orc is quite bloodied, but now his comrades are arriving. A group of 5 and 6 and 7 as members clash. A couple of them falling from the crossbows, handed out to your men. Luckily, you got a man advantage. He reaches out to slice you with his claymore. Downwards thrust. Got a Give me a hot second. I need to look.
Yep. You're,
A 9.
it swings. Michael, my fear comes upon me, worried about my failure of leading a bunch of men to their death, reminded of what the fella had said earlier, whether this would be their deaths. I can't. Huge cut across me. I fall back on my knees.
Much of the blow getting deflected, digging into the armor. You feel a warm rush of blood on you. The adrenaline too strong, barely noticing it. The armor's getting dented inward. Your man are
Catching my
fighting.
breath. I get it back up on my knees.
Right next to you, another man falls onto his back. Clashing of swords and steel.
I reach for my sword, gaze, trying to find the one that hit the orc had hit me.
The young man has rushed past you, pushing his shield into the orc's face, blocking his visuals. Then he gets knocked back. He's stumbling. A wide open target. As you see the orc raise his blade again.
Jump up and forward, grabbing his backside, my fellow comrade, pulling him down onto the ground, and then my sword stabbing forward at this orc. It's 10.
Success.
The blade goes right slide into the stomach of this orc, right underneath its armor. And I push it as tight as I can, and I put my foot up against him, and I pull it out violently.
A couple more orcs fall with a slight number advantage, having them 2-1. Not every man still standing. The fight continues, another clash. One of the back ranks of the orcs shooting an arrow into the group. You hear the clink noise of an arrow hitting you in the head. It whips your neck back. A dent in the helmet, deflecting, bouncing off.
I gaze to the distance to where these archers are firing, trying to figure out the distance between me and them.
A silhouette in the
Keeps
fog,
clipping through and blocking a lot of these orcs.
About 40 feet in the fog itself, just guessing who the enemy is.
I signal to some of the others to my right to move in and flank on that side as I keep swinging away on my sword to try to deflect a lot of these orcs as that are attacking full force on us.
Roll me a commandeer check in the mixture of battle to read your signal's intent.
It's a 7.
A lot of soldiers fighting for dear life. One of them acknowledges the command. He raises his sword and swipes it forward, peels off into the fog, disappearing from sight.
I hope that he is directed well, but I'm also afraid that he's not. I might be confused and lost.
Another orc now slapping in front of you. charging with a loud grin on his face. Got a flail on him, dangling on chains, thick spikes, the skull of a dead man hanging on it still.
I drop back my body. I prepare and brace myself up against the ground. My knees are bent. I'm ready for his first strike.
The swing comes with a massive force. Roll me a defense.
3.
Your shield shatters. Your arm shaken. You feel numbness in your hand. It does not react. Your left hand does not react how you wish it to.
I feel weak and defenseless. All I have is my sword, my crossbow across the field. Pull it up high, looking for a weak point on him. I quickly move, wrapping around him to try to find something to strike at him.
His back is open, having overexerted himself for this one death blow. Surprised you're still alive.
Once again, I look out through the distance and see a lot of the other men that are still fighting, confident, trying to pull in strength in that. And I swing into the back end. It's a 4.
He rolls over himself into the mud itself, pushing him, pushing back onto his feet, dodging the strike. A couple more orcs falling in the distance. You hear the outcry of a gurgling orc from the scout you've sent forward into the fog. He turns around and aims for your chest now, unprotected, and goes for another strike. Roll me for defense.
At that moment, I'm scared. I know I've failed too many times, and too many fails is a death for myself. It's a 7. A feeble sword lifts up to try to hold up and at least have somewhat of a defense. But my hands are shaking. I am not
piercing
who I want to be.
Into the flesh of your breast, ripping inside past the belt buckles holding up the breastplate. A blow, still pulling it back. It rips off the breastplate completely from your body, landing dented into the mud. You can still breathe, but blood is oozing out now.
I quickly scan. My mind is very afraid of what I have just felt. I don't want to feel pain. I look and I scan around to see how many more of my comrades are still around, up and fighting.
Half the group is standing. Their enemies of the orcs whittled down to just about 2 or 3. The strongest one in front of you, preparing himself for his glory.
I try to slide my body away. My sword again on the floor, not far away from me. I look for a crossbow or something, some kind of weapon, something to help me. That's a 5.
Roll me scavenging.
It's a 9. I see what appears to be a broken in half shield, something that was cut perfectly. I pull it up out of the dirt and hold it up just against me just before he strikes at me.
Roll another defense. You get a +1 bonus.
It's going to be 8.
9. This half-broken shield shattering again, taking the brunt of the damage but knocking the wind out of you, buying you up a little more time. Another orc falls amongst the group. Now they are converging around you as a man with his long spear and a shield steps past you and yells at the orc, "Keep your distance, you dog, filthy cur!" Like, jabbing towards him, but not going for a death blow, afraid leaving himself open.
I stand up on my feet, seeing this opportunity. Weaponless, I charge at the same orc that's being attacked with the spear, waiting just after he gets strike and coming in and wrapping around my arm to try to grip around his throat and pull him down to the ground. It's a 9.
You're grappling around his neck. It's thick. The veins strong. The muscles making it impossible to choke him out. And he's standing on his feet. Another man manages to peel away from the other opponents. Now a clear upper hand amongst your men. They are looking for an opportunity to strike, but within this combat, turning left and right, unsure, one of them says, we can't strike the captain. They look unsure, looking for an angle.
I see all of them. With my other hand, I reach down, feeling for my dagger, trying to find it, trying to pull it and holster it.
It slips out easily.
Stab him. I raise it up into the air, and I puncture it into the throat of this orc. This what appears to be this mightful orc. Trying to give it a nice gurgle. It's a 9.
The blade digs in and slips off your grasp, stuck, held deep inside its thorax, and the orc grabs you over the shoulders and tries to throw you to the ground over his
harder.
head. Roll to resist. His brute strength.
6.
Unable to withstand his brute force, he throws you onto the ground, laying flat on your back, bleeding mixing with blood. He looks to stomp your head in, that boot, thick iron bolt sticking out, rushing downward. This is your last defense roll.
I look up at the sky, covered in the fog, trying to see a glimmer of hope. Five.
The next day, the group of soldiers congregate, peeling back bodies. They're talking amongst themselves. One of them asked, Did anyone see Michael? Did anyone see the captain? The other guy says, no, he did not make it. Let's get ready for the next charge. We got a new captain assigned. Who's the veteran over here? He's in charge now. And they turned to him and nod. And a quiver said, well, hopefully today is not going to be the last day. That's where we're gonna end the session.
Yay. Woo. There we go. gosh, man, I do not like my dice anymore. That's for
Oh,
sure. This is my dice that I get, and whenever I get a failure, I get to see. Let's see if I can show it to you.
gotcha. A 4 and a
Yeah,
big 1. Is that a big 1? I'm not sure.
it says dough on it.
Doe.
So whenever I see that, I'm like, darn. Yeah. Cool. Yay.
All
That was a
right.
challenge starting out. Yeah. Go ahead.
So, well, I loved it, but I'm also the kind of guy that smells his own farts, so of course I'm.
Chelsea, what the nine fucks?
I'm joking.
You
But
are the worst human being.
thank you. Very encouraging.
Oh,
So, but right, so we went with high fantasy, and I'm thinking, all right, that one scene in the Lord of the Rings movie, let's play out that one when we have to defend this hopeless city because the Mad King, or it wasn't the king, right? Like he was like the throne holder. That's
Yeah.
always torn up about his favorite son that sends the second son to his doom. And as
Yeah.
any good son, he obliges.
Yeah. I was ready to bail on this whole thing. I was like, okay, maybe I should count my guys and get the heck out. Maybe they were right.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have left. Yeah.
So that's it felt very human. I liked the atmosphere a lot. I liked your character a lot. Michael, the captain of his retinue. And I wanted to also give you a moment to be, all right, you don't have 100 people under you. You got your group, the boys that you know. Some of them you fought before, some of them brand new, basically conscripted.
Yeah.
So that way you also have a bit more freedom on where you want to take them or how to approach the enemy. What did you think about this?
Story wise, I liked it. I liked it a lot. Game mechanic wise, I think the only thing that kind of confused me, or one of the things that confused me, was the success and the failures, and trying to figure out
Yes.
when should I say it or when should I not say it, and just yeah, timing wise, on like when should I say something, when should I not say something. But yeah, that was the only challenging part for myself. The story wise, I mean, like I said, I loved the story. I even like myself dying, like, and being confused and stuff, and trying to figure out like I need to give them hope, but yeah, I don't know what's going to happen within the next 20 minutes. Which is an obvious, which is cool. Like I was like, oh yeah, I get my head stomped,
If
but I took a lot of hits.
Yeah, if we played a different system, I think if we played this like a normal D&D, I would roll
Yep.
for the orc more often to strike
Oh yeah.
you. But instead, I thought it feels more meaningful if I allow you the chance to defend instead of, okay, well, the orc is gonna be competent no matter what. Can you withstand
Yeah.
his blows? Can you dodge his jabs to
Yeah.
give you more opportunities to strike back?
Yeah, and I think I also was trying to be more tactful and tactical in trying to figure out, okay, what's the number, what's the amount of characters and stuff, or the orcs, and trying to figure out, okay, how can I move my men to kind of get things in our advantage.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't know, I was like, okay, well, I think we have them somewhat outnumbered. Maybe not.
And that is part of the point of, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
battle. You're in Mortal Kombat. How much can you tell? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
or now that the spearman has stepped forward, do you take a step back to account for the battle and give commands because you are mortally wounded, or because
Yeah.
I find that is the kind of some game masters on YouTube, they talk about give your players the illusion of choice. I want to give you the choice. Like, you have options. I'm not telling you what the options are, but you make the choices. There's no illusion here. Like if you want to step back now that the spearman is pushed in front, you could.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you could get out of it alive. But that wasn't the kind of man Michael was, the kind of captain Michael was.
No, because I saw him as the main focus. That orc was probably the one that needed to go down, and I would hope to I have to be like the inspiration of the group, and I think something I could have done was like let my men lead and let them take control. But yeah,
Possibly.
That's the way the fight goes. It's like
As a game master, I'm thinking, okay, if you make commands for the men, I enjoyed to give you those opportunities of, okay, that is the leadership role in some role-playing games. That's the moment where you can show your acumen on how to lead your people or persuade them, like spur them into action. Or it could be like different systems have different roles for that. Could be a tactics role, could be leadership. It could just be like an inspiring presence, like roll for charisma. And
yeah.
also, okay, so as the men are doing things, I'm thinking in my head, okay, if Andrew is stepping out, I'm making a 2d6 roll of how are the men doing to see are they gaining control and lose nobody, like the now that we had this partial success, there would be members are falling, but they are winning the battle. Like a failure would be the orcs are bashing through them.
Yeah, that's what I think you hinted on, like that. My soldiers were outnumbering them,
Yes.
or was I wrong?
No,
Okay,
that is
yeah, because
correct.
I picked up on that, and I was like, okay, cool. Like we actually are winning. Like I'm surprised, but I do need to take this guy down and do my part. Like I would feel like a bad captain if I didn't kill kill at least the leader. But I was like, oh wait, maybe I shouldn't. I've already gotten like everything hit off me and stuff. I was like, I'm gonna.
Look, if you survive the stomp, okay, like
Yeah, yeah.
no matter the result of the stomp,
Yeah.
the spearman is gonna skewer him, and the other guys have time to charge up, and the swords are slashing into him, and they take him down. You're just not there to witness it anymore.
Yeah, that's probably what it is that they were probably enthralled by my death, that they ran in and they were like, let's kill this dude.
Yes,
And they wiped out
yes.
that I don't know. But yeah, no, I like I like the story and stuff. And then the 2D, oh man. It's one thing to DM and expect things from players, and then it's another thing to be a player and try to have to do what as a DM I would expect, or GM I would expect. Like for me, it was like
Right?
not as easy as I was like, wait a second, this is hard. You know,
What felt hard? What was the like? What had you stopping and think about? Wait, how do I do this?
yeah, I think being careful my choices of words and how I communicate, because I think I'm used to. I felt like I was going in and out of certain kind of vantage points, and I was trying to be careful of how I did that. Like I think I like describing my inner feelings and inner mind thinking. I also liked. I mean, I didn't do a lot of like character talking as much as I in the beginning, and then getting out of like I don't know, just I think the other one is explaining what your character does. So going from being in my mind and explaining and talking to myself internally, and then also like talking about what my character is doing. It was a bit of a challenge, I think.
I think
Trying to
that
catch myself.
the internal monologue is a big challenge for players
Yeah.
because they don't know how to express their character's actions without just telling the game master what they're thinking. Oh, I want to know who my enemy is. Okay, well, how do you find out in the world?
Yeah.
I look down the road and imagine who the enemy could be. That's it still feels a bit stilted, but you got to
Yeah.
start somewhere. You have to start
Yeah.
somewhere of how do I express this. I think back on what I don't know army ranks, but like I think back of what my commanding corporal told me the enemy was. Could be also a way to recall information.
Yeah.
Right, I recalled what they told me in the military tent for what to expect.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was a bit of a challenge because I was always like, okay, now it's on to me. Now I have to figure out how, oh, I want to say this, but I can't say it that way. So
Yeah,
I had to check
yeah.
myself. Like, okay, no, don't say, yeah. So then it's like, okay, how can I? But no, I think just in the beginning, and then just that, what I had said, oh, the success and the failures, and then the rolling, and then the number wise. Just I think the rules of 40. I don't think I wanted to read the book and everything of how to go about roles, who should say successes, how you should say successes. Because I wouldn't imagine that like if I succeeded in hitting you, do I get to describe how it cuts into your armor or how it cuts into your, or do you describe that like how it does the damage?
There is a level of interpretation for each table
Yep.
and each player, and it's something that should be talked about before you start role playing.
Yep.
To exactly for that reason, to avoid that kind of confusion. But in many tables where I've played, we also just changed it up. Like we thought of, okay, the game master always describes things, but then the
Yeah.
player has a moment of, oh, that would be really cool if I can describe this, and they take over the wheel. It's like, oh, we didn't discuss this before. Like, oh, that's a rules break. Nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a problem.
Yeah.
That I err on the like to be more philosophical about it. Allow for more room to, if the players think of something cool and they are starting to describe it, I'm trying not to invalidate that. But maybe
Gotcha.
something in the world is enforcing why it's not possible that the player doesn't know about. And now I can throw in like a wrench into, oh, he's describing a success, but something else is happening that he did not account for. So
Yeah.
it doesn't negate the role. I should never negate the role itself, but to support the verisimilitude of the world of, oh, this world is real. He went for the thing, and that thing works, but the result he wanted was not in the cards, based on information he does not know.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I don't know how it is for. I mean, I've ran a GM somewhat 40 a little bit, but not fully to your extent. So I don't know how that feels or how to control that. For players who try to create their own, like, oh, and I cut off his head.
One thing
You're
that
like,
I
oh,
do is I'm in full control of my bow and arrow,
yep,
and as soon as it leaves my sinews and flies into the air, I lost control. Now the game master has to describe what happens with it based on the roll.
gotcha.
Because it's no longer on me, it's no longer on my character sheet. It's written off, it's in the air, I'm letting go. And it's the same, like I swing my sword, I aim for the neck, or, I aim for the enemy. You're looking for impact. The success doesn't mean, oh yeah, I slice his head off, his head is gone.
Yeah,
We look at the rolls and like, oh, he takes 40 damage, but he still has 2 hit points, so he got a gash across the neck, but it's not deep enough to cut his head off.
yeah,
He's
yep,
barely alive and trying to peel back off the battlefield to get his wounds tended to. Or he's,
yeah,
going berserk and going for the death blow on you because he sees no way out but through the enemy.
yeah. Yeah, I like that because I feel like at first I was afraid. I was like, oh wow, like players can just roll and say what they're doing, and if they're successful, then they just automatically cut the head off. Like it already happens in my own game where it's like, oh, I should have cut his head off, or I said it, so I should have gotten it. Where it's like for me, like I attempted to like, stab it into your throat and
Yeah,
finish him or cut off his head and finish him.
you did
But it was
try.
like,
I was
and I
like,
was like, gosh, no.
roll the
And
10.
I was like,
Yes, roll
dang,
the 10. Please, I beg you. Roll the 10. Slice out his whole thorax
yeah,
as he's bleeding
yeah,
out, falls on this knife. But it was, what was it, a 9, I think?
yeah, yeah. I think so. I think it was like yeah, it was 9 probably.
So it slipped off your hands and it's stuck, held deep in his neck.
Yeah.
And he throws you off. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, what Andrew is doing is really fucking cool. Now the orc gets to be the menace that he was like bioengineered to be. This scourge upon this world, used like
Yeah,
born and bred warrior to destroy the enemies for whatever the enemy faction is, of course.
yeah. Yeah, I
And
think like I
yeah,
would have got up and run, but like his character wise, he just is like so shocked up into the fight that and then so lost in mind and whatever in battle and in whether or not like this was the losing battle that a lot of them predicted. He's like, yeah, maybe I should, like make my peace at the last moment and hope for anything. But yeah, no, that was fun. I liked it. I think as we went on later on in the gameplay, I was able to comprehend what fully was taking place. Like in the beginning, I was kind of like, okay, what's everything? I need to ask a lot of questions. But then when
yes.
it simplified itself to where it's like it's just me, him, and I kind of have an idea of my men a little bit, then I was like, okay, I have an understanding of the realm and what's taking place. Like it's not too chaotic, you know. When I
And
first started, it was like the boats and everything, and then the fog, and it's like, okay, how many numbers do we have? How many people do I have? But I wasn't asking those questions. I was trying to be more in character, as though I knew that stuff.
a moment I did catch on of, all right, I wrote down Michael, the captain. So I understand it's a small retinue, but you were addressing a lot of people. So I thought, okay, let me reframe what he's doing to like, okay, who is reacting to him and how many people are showing up? Like in the immediate vicinity with the fog, what does he have
Yeah,
control over? It's like, yes, 7, 8 men, young and old, like stepping up to your command, nodding along to reframe what you are doing and give
yeah,
you a better visual. And the other parts of the first screams can be heard in the distance as other captains and their retinues are getting struck down to make the city like much bigger. It's like, okay, wait,
yeah,
there's already fighting happening and I have absolutely no control over it. Good, good.
yeah,
That's the frame of mind I want to put you in.
yeah,
You get the
yeah,
small skirmish coming, and let's see if we can make it out alive. You know,
yeah.
let's put a boot on them, and the battle starts like, oh fuck, oh shit, people are dying.
Yeah, yeah. It felt like, um, what is it? Where they like storm the beach, and it's like, okay, I'm just we're on that ship and stuff, and we're going, and it's like, look, we're gonna go in here. I know that other battles are taking place somewhat on this this
Yes,
this thing, and it's like, who knows how we're gonna do it, but we'll see. But we're just one in a group of many that are dying or succeeding or whatever. We'll
and
see
we
how
don't,
that goes.
and we don't know. It's like, yeah, that's part of the joy of
Yeah,
it's a losing battle. But we can, like, how many days can we survive? Like, how many skirmishes can we win?
yeah,
And
pretty
then
much.
also like maybe later, like if this is instead of a training session, a full-fledged session, hey, the players are the ones that say, guys, we can't win this war, let's peel out, I want to live, or let's help out the other guys, let's talk to the prince again, the second son, and convince
Yeah,
him, sir,
yeah,
your men are bleeding. We are dying on the front lines. We understand the plight, but this is madness. And role play out that whole side of things of the politicking. The can we convince them or can we inspire the troops?
yeah. I would imagine that we would probably lose the area in which we were trying to control. Let them have it. It's more of an approach. It's like let's let them
Yes.
have it. We can't Like we don't need to lose men, and there's nothing here to protect. Let them have this part so that we can get ready for the next one if they do come. You know what I mean?
Uh,
But yeah,
yeah, that's beautiful. It allows for, and you can totally role play this out. We're organizing a slow retreat, like close our flanks. Like any orcs that come for us, we can single them out because they won't come all as a big front. But there's also a chance that men lose morale and start running and peel off, and now everyone dies as they get overrun by the horde. As soon as the
gotcha.
backs are turned, they're like, "Oh, we're smelling blood in the air," and everything falls apart right in front of your eyes. Which
yeah,
that's what I'm imagining of like, oh, those are cool scenes. Those are so many cool moments we could role play.
yeah, yeah.
And when
There
the
is.
player says, actually, how can we win this fight? I don't know. Let's look at GM. How many orcs are on the battlefield? I guess I can count up how many retinues the orcs have. Well, it's like 5 warships and they each fit 100. Like, that's boring. Like, quite literally, I cannot imagine a worse way to describe the actions of telling the players information like it's a brochure, like they're reading a template, or like numbers in a video game. No, that's not the thing that makes the world come alive.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, you can't in a normal gameplay, like you can't overload the table. You know what I mean? You're like, okay,
Oh
let
yeah,
me drop all these tokens. Oh, you want to interact with some of these? What's called? Oh, you want to charge into this gigantic pile of orcs? Okay, there was 100. I said so. I
there you
guess I
go.
have to put a,
Let's
whereas here
simulate
it's like,
100 against 5 players
yeah,
and see what happens. You die.
yeah,
You're all dead.
yeah.
Didn't even have a chance. The
Well, that
first
was another
volley of
thing.
arrows
Yeah,
come. It's 20 arrows. It's like, well, you got 7 strikes and you're dead.
yeah. I enjoyed that because in our gameplay, I felt like I was having to be tactical within my scope rather than like in a normal gameplay you would try to like, okay, how many of this, what's the room size and everything.
Can I
But here I
flank him?
was, yeah, it was okay, I only have a marginal ability, like I can have my men move around and do stuff, but I think I really liked that. There was another thing I liked, and I liked my objects too. I like being able to be like, oh yeah, like that was failure. That object went this way. This object went that way. I can't hold it. He knocked it out of my hand. Crap. I'm pretty much defenseless, which is understandable in the fight. It's
Yes.
like he just keeps piling at me to where I'm like, I have nothing. I'm scrambling, so I like that.
It's a
It
really
might, the,
good habit to have as a player that I think like newer players or even veteran players, they kind of chicken out of this approach of, yeah, you can describe failure being you lose your weapons of war, or you lose hand of your spell book, or you
yeah,
lose track of your talisman. Be like, oh crap, what do I do now? Well, I know my parlor
yeah.
tricks. Let's see if I can regain my object of power to turn battlefield again.
Yeah, it becomes important, I feel like, compared to
Yes.
like, yeah. It's like this
Oh,
is important to me.
yes. No,
Don't
GM, you can't take my sword and shield away. I paid money for those. You can't take my
yeah.
breastplate away. What's a
I would
hundred
spend
gold?
yeah, I think I would like invest in a lot of my equipment. Like if this is a continual thing, I'd be like, this is important. I'm gonna strap it. I'm gonna make sure I have a good belt to hold
Yes.
my equipment. I'm gonna make sure everything, where it's like in regular 3D or whatever. Or I don't know how you guys would say it, but in normal,
In a casual game.
in a casual game. Yeah, in a normal one, you don't really care. You're like, okay, you want to give me rope, whatever. I guess I'll use it. Or oh, I have this. Okay, whatever.
I'm so
Like,
rich, so spoiled with choice that nothing matters
yeah,
anymore.
yeah. So my other thing that I wanted to mention is it is. I don't know if it was like high stress in the end of it. I think it was kind of coming to an end, but it felt like my own complaint was it's a lot. It's a lot, and I don't know how long it could have sustained. I don't know if you understand.
What was a lot? Like all the information and how to react to it. Of how long can I role play without asking questions?
I felt like the story was going to come to an end quickly, which it
Yes.
did. And that was my like, okay, this is it right here. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be curious to play long ended 40s and see how they feel. Because I know you guys do like a shorter gameplays because there's so much action. There's so much gameplay, I believe.
There.
Like you're always in character, so you're
Yes.
constantly going and you're moving from point A to point B quicker. And so there's not a lot of that in between time or that like slow to the buildup of the end.
That's very interesting to say because I think my very specifically my games are the opposite. Ended up being the opposite of this.
Yep.
I've I did ran the Lich's Drags on my channel as a
Yeah.
D&D 5e short campaign to show, well, can we have this roleplay style for the roleplay
Yeah.
in 5e? Like, is D&D even compatible? Because nobody tried before. We all just made fun of it. Just made fun of
Yeah.
5e instead of trying to roleplay in it. And the
Yeah.
challenge was, okay, to make it interesting, you are the monsters. So they played the orc and the lizard folk and the goblin, and there was a half orc in the group. And we've had many sessions, they just wandered through the forest. And the forest is big, so if they're not like taking their legs into their hands and feeling comfortable, like spending 4 hours walking in one direction, then you better believe it's gonna be a slow burn until they reach someplace of note or interesting. So the
Yeah.
pacing was a lot slower, but that allowed. But the players, since I'm not moving the players, we quickly learned, all right, the players have to address how fast they're moving, and if they are, they're just walking in one
Yeah.
direction, and that's
Yeah.
what they're spending the day with. They give me a signal. We do the thing of we're taking a turn where you're not doing anything of note. It's like, yeah, and I keep walking.
Yeah.
And when everyone does that at the table, we move on to you arrive, or night dawns, or a storm is
Yeah.
coming, or rustling can be heard in the underbrush, in the
Interesting.
distance. And now the players stop again, like, oh, new information, let me react to this. What's going on?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's something that I'm curious about and to learn more about for this 40 is the pacing, is how to kind of pace it. Because, like I said, this is my first time ever playing as a player, and it went from like 0 to 100. You know what I mean? Like we were just
Oh
standing
yeah.
around, like, oh yeah, we're gonna go, and it's like let's do this, and then boom, and then like, oh yeah, we're gonna go through this pretty quickly. Like I'm either gonna die or we're gonna somewhat succeed.
I don't
You
have
know?
4 hours with you. I got 30 minutes.
Yeah,
If I take more than 30 minutes, like I don't
yeah,
need more than 30 minutes to show how to roleplay. That's more than enough room to talk about all the events that have transpired and
oh
reflect on
yeah,
it. And also, I want it to be interesting 30 minutes, so I'm trying to lean away from just going
all
to the
the extra.
tavern and ordering an ale and talking to people, and that was the training session. It's like, I don't know, it was kind of forgettable, I guess.
No, I think that was like the one, two, three. It's the second time, third time my character has died, which I like, always like.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah,
It's
awesome. Yeah, no,
it's also a good example of, okay, how do you feel if your character dies? And would you feel worse if you played the character for 20 sessions and you end up in this one skirmish of, oh, this orc is strong. Oh, fuck, my breastplate is peeled off by the strike that should kill you,
yeah,
right? But I'm trying to not kill the character
yeah,
outright, so let me redefine what this result means to, okay, well, it's like a partial success. Well, your
yeah,
breastplate gets ripped up, peels off, the whole buckle gets torn to shreds by this flail. You feel
yeah,
the blood on your body, but they still, and also give the description of the adrenaline keeping you going, which is
yeah,
me describing the adrenaline is like very close to just telling you what you feel.
Yeah.
But
I caught that a little bit, and I was like, okay.
yes,
Because I knew. I was like, oh wait, like when you described some of the stuff, I was like, no, yeah, like I'm flipping out. Like I cannot, like if I'm spitting out blood, yeah. I think that was another one where it came to like fail when I fail, or when I succeed, or when you fail, or when you succeed. I wasn't sure how, if I should narrate it or you should narrate it.
and with the
You know?
defense, with the shield, that was an absolute failure, right? The first one, like a 4.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, yeah,
So the shield is gone, and your hand is useless. Now,
yeah,
that might be a tough pill to swallow for some players.
yeah.
So how did you feel about that?
About losing my shield.
About losing your hand, about, your hand. It's the thing of you break your wrist and suddenly you realize, oh, it's not doing the movement I want it to. And you just realize it
Oh
after
yeah,
the
yeah,
fact.
yeah. And I think that's another thing too, is like tracking what you're saying and trying to, tracking what you're saying. And it's like, oh wait, yeah, no, he said that. Oh shoot, I don't have an arm now, or I don't have a usable arm, you know. I don't know. I mean, I knew that I was like going into it. Like I was like, I'm in trouble. Like ain't no way. Like can barely, I can breathe, but I can barely breathe. Like I'm spitting blood. I'm hurt. Like I have nothing. I'm like, shoot. Like I need to be tactful. Like I think in being this my first battle, in the next battles that I would do, I would be way more tactful. You know, because I was like, okay, no, I don't want to. I'm not going to charge this dude, or I don't know what I would do next one.
I wanted
It's hard to say.
this, a lot of it, like the pacing style. One thing
Yep.
I like to do, if I think of it, that's the moments when I think, oh, I'm being a good game master here, is pace, have foreshadowing. Like I take a turn, and the turn is the silhouettes in the fog. Like the turn before that was another group is already clashing as the shouting of orcs and the clashing of steel. That is a turn to tell you, oh, they're orcs. Okay, the fight has started. We are in trouble now. Now is your time to tell your people this is the first action you do. Like, are you staying hidden? Like, send a volley, shoot your crossbow into the fog. I don't care. We're gonna hit something. The second turn would be the silhouettes in the fog pushing through. And it's 2 orcs. It's not the whole group. It's the first 2 that have peeled off to charge. And he turns his head and opens his mouth. And that's a turn to give the player a reaction. Now it's your turn to whatever you had planned or you were thinking of. Now's your moment to push that. And if you don't, I'm going to skip you and be like, charge! And now you're in melee, right? Like if you blink, you miss it. But me as a game master give you room to react because the player might be cogitating, thinking about how would I react to this? Okay, I got it. And then they want to do it. So I'm giving you some room to react before I put my foot down. Like now they're charging you. Like that's too late.
Yeah, yeah. When you opened up your mouth, I was kind of like, okay.
What is he saying though?
Do I talk to him?
Yeah, he's not saying
And
anything.
I was like, no. Stop that. Stop thinking like that. I'm not gonna try to talk to this orc.
We did talk about this at the very start, right? Like, oh yeah, we don't talk to orcs. They're gonna be like the enemy, like Lord of the Rings, high fantasy.
Yeah, yeah, and because usually, in those other games, in those other system, the ways of doing it,
The Lester
yeah.
games.
Hello. Do you really want to fight me? You're like,
He chucks his javelin at you. Roll to dodge.
yeah. I'm too used to that way of doing what's called, or I'm used to hearing people say those kinds of things. So it was difficult for me to that instantly comes to my mind. Like, okay, dude, should I be talking to him? Should we talk? It's I want to look around at everybody else and be like, should we talk? Should we calm him down? Should we kind of figure things? No, we're going to kill him. We got to kill him. This is a war.
If the other players are paying attention, they know, all right, first of all, it's a futile quest. it's a token city that's already been destroyed, and we are here to like make sure, like we're taking it back. So this is the scene of the Lord of the Rings. Like we got a
Yeah.
frame of reference, a frame of mind.
Yeah.
We establish it's high fantasy. Those like maybe they're bandits that you can convince otherwise, but not these orcs, not the armies of the Uruk-hai. They're coming here to smash face and take everything you
This
love
is
and
not
like.
this is not a conversation place.
Yes.
This is the battlefield.
And
Yeah.
it's the attitude of the other NPCs. I'm gonna die today, aren't I? Please God, have mercy on my soul.
Yeah.
So the mood is set. If the player stops and asks, "Oh hey Orc, is it cool if you like walk away?" For me, that would be the tone break of. Wait,
Yeah.
hold on, Cherry. Like you joined my session and I told you what the world is about, and I framed the scene and I described the NPCs as fearful for their lives. What made you think that this might be somebody you could talk to? But even before that, before I have this conversation, I have the orc chucking a javelin at Cherry's character and see if he rolls out of the way. If that doesn't clue him in, he deserved to die. What can I say? Like that just means his character was clueless about his surroundings.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've done that before where I've like, look, this is a bad surrounding. I don't know why you're doing that for. But I've also in my gameplays, saying like, this is the game that we're gonna play.
Yes.
This is the story, what's called, and somehow you're trying to go about it this way, which now I then have to reconsider my world and then change it and rebuff it to what you're trying to do.
And it's okay if, hey, he comes up with an idea you didn't think of. Okay, interesting. Let's see what will play out. Well, this orc was bred for war. He's here for glory. This guy wants to convince him to not fight. It's never going to happen. Like, okay, does he understand the common tongue? No.
Yeah.
Does he understand common tongue? Well, is he persuadable? No. Okay, is he persuadable? Well, what is he in for? Take off your armor, grovel on your, on your knees and hands, and display yourself, prostrate yourself. Maybe, and that's also a role. You might still die.
I would have done that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jim, I understand. No, that doesn't make sense. You can't just say hi to the guy. Get out of here. Yeah, he's gonna kill you.
And if the player is upset that his character dies, it's like, I gave you those like 5 outs out of this situation, like all of this information, and if you don't pick up on it, that means you were not attentive. You did not listen to what I said. Like the barrier of communication is clearly on one end of this dialogue.
Yeah, I think I screwed up because I noted that you had said that you had got the spear, took it over to him and stuff, and then I kind of was like, okay, let me follow behind him and let me try to choke him out and somewhat try to subdue him, just to show like my confidence as a leader.
Do you think it was a screw up? I don't think so.
Well, then I noticed that you said that about the other characters are trying to find a spot to hit, and I was like, and it was more I think in character of I just thought wrong and screwed my other, like, if I would have survived, I would have probably taken that into the next gameplay where I would have been like, I need to be confident in my guys, that I need to step back and let them, but then know when like I need to do step up and do, like be careful, because they could have handled it. They probably could have handled. Could have probably dropped back, re-armored myself up, and then went back in. Collected my weapons.
Or that one weapon, because you got one good hand going.
One good hand, yeah.
And I find it very cool because that is very much, okay, you made the choice. These are the consequences. They all mean something. And now you think, all right, I can make different choices. I can fall back. Like another soldier stepped up. I can peel off. And the consequences can be, oh, well, let me do this quick roll. Oh, that's a bad roll. He dies. He's dead. They stabbed the orc to death, but the guy that stepped up to the plate, this young man, that stepped up to the plate, deflected him, and gives you this opening that thought like it's gonna be my death. Today is my death day. He's dead now because you peeled back. But you charge forward and he's alive the next day. But you're not.
Yeah.
And that's the bittersweet part of well, it's war, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I felt like that was a victory, saving that, like pulling him back, and it's like, no, like careful. It would probably been good advice for myself. Maybe if I had somebody else that was above me, that could have been like, whoa, don't jump on him. Get back, you know?
I'm also thinking as a game master, if this something like this takes like 10 turns and people are still fighting and standing, that's when the other captains come into the play and they start flanking the situation and sweep through your field
Yep.
and save the players. Or you can also decide as a game master, well, can also just be a role. Bad role is, no, it's the other orcs that are coming and reinforcing, and you realize, like, okay, we need to peel out, like, kill the guy in front of us and run away, because we are getting swarmed. And use that as a way to telegraph the tides of battle shifting, even though the player characters is in combat, they have the tunnel vision, right? They're like the horse on the racetrack. Just try to reach the finishing line alive.
Yep. I like that too. I liked having the tunnel vision, you know, because I'm used to just having an openness of, oh yeah, I see everything. You're above the table.
Yeah, put down the battle map with the minis. And
you're above the table, and you know, yeah.
So
Personally, and I love battle maps too, but yeah, this was very like, I'm curious to kind of try it out a little bit more. With just, I mean, I do like theater of the mind a lot, but I also like, okay, here's a big combat, here's a battle map, which like I love, but I love the tunnel vision feeling as well.
That's a key part of, okay, you try to get, we call it, we try to tear off your skin to get into the skin of somebody else, to get into the headspace of the character. You put on the skin of Captain Michael, and now you're the skinwalker, right? I mean, you're walking in his footsteps of what would he think. And if you put down the battle map to play this out, you no longer see the battlefield through the eyes of your character. You see the battlefield of the bird above the battlefield that is flying in a circle and sees everything with perfect vision, like with God vision, as like the video developers would say. But I'm trying to give you this fog of war. In this case, it's a literal fog of war, but also imaginative, describing orcs, describing enemies, how many, describing, okay, others are in the silhouette, and suddenly you notice those archers because an arrow blinks off the helmet. If I'm a mean GM, that's just a roll to see if you die or live. Like if you take 8 damage or not. It could also be an arrow that gets stuck in your shoulder, right?
Yeah.
But I'm using telegraphing to give you, like, always give the players a turn to react to the events. And I don't think I'm holding back with that. I think it's a fairness of, well, the world does stuff, but the players have an opportunity to recognize, realize, and react.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because we could have easily drawn back. We could have easily kind of, I mean, it was hard because of the fog. So I could have easily maybe tried to pull back our flanks and find a position to be protected from it. Or I could have had them raise up their shields and stuff for the oncoming arrows. Like listening, I'm going to listen for these arrows that are coming again, round for round. Or I'm going to prepare myself and my man, listening
I feel
for
like
these arrows.
at the start, if you succeeded with your crossbow, and if you told your men, shoot, they could have both died without a word, and you had the element of surprise still, and a massive advantage. But I'm not telling you those information at normal table says, are you gonna tell your man to shoot at the first sight of an orc, or How
Yeah.
do you want to do this? It's like, no. Let's not break the illusion. The world is real. The world is alive. Those are options that you have. Like I've described the man preparing the crossbows and stuff like that. A couple of them at least. So
Yeah, and I think in the beginning I was still trying to grasp my understanding of what I have, or what I have in control of, and the scenario around me. And so I was like, okay, and I was like, okay, we got to get into this. We're going, let's do this. Like, and so it was hard for me. But now, like as when I started playing it out, I was like, okay, I understand what I have control of. You
yes.
know, so I did, I do enjoy that. Is there anything that you would mention for myself and stuff for going forward, in playing, either playing or running 40? Things I can consider.
I think you've done a fantastic job of saying where you are, what you do, and speaking in character. You've done a fantastic job with that. You moved yourself through the world. You've had a good grasp of like who is in front of you, who's next to you. You organize the men to be right on top of you, basically, right? Like, okay, maybe they're like kind of everywhere and it's foggy, but you reframed it as get behind me, man. Like we are pushing forward as a unit, which made it like a very clear picture in my head of, all right, I know exactly what Andrew wants, what Andrew is saying, and I can accommodate that. Of yeah, the ranks are closing up, they're getting ready
Yeah.
to push forward. One thing that comes to mind as something I'm getting more cautious of, since I've seen it happen in some of the training sessions, is players think, oh, it's some players at least, it's totally fine to describe everything that's going through my character's head. And I caution against that for the reason that, first of all, it's hard to see what a character is thinking. So describing it is like, oh, I guess it's cool, but I cannot really grasp that. My character cannot visualize this. Like, I cannot interact with this information. So it's kind
Oh,
of like
gotcha.
dead air almost. So I find it more interesting every time you can reframe what your character is thinking and put it into the world instead. And when you do have this internal dialogue, the best one I thought is when you were looking up into the sky, looking for hope. That was beautiful. That is the kind of internal dialogue. I don't need another line after looking for hope. This is perfect. I know exactly what your character's feeling and thinking. It's like his last moment of trying to get from away from under the boots of this orc, right?
Yep.
It works on so many levels. Nothing else needs to be said.
Yep. Yeah, I think I come from because I am a GM, and so I do a lot of storytelling. I do a lot of yeah. I try to like tell the story,
Describing and
try to tell the
narrating.
feelings, tell the what's called. I love that type of gameplay and stuff, and so it's. I know that's something that's. I shouldn't say 40 is against it, but like
Well, how would you do that without breaking out of the world, right? To tell it to somebody like they're not in the world anymore. Like, because that's what's happening, right? The campfire story is
yeah,
you just tell it to the people at the campfire,
yeah,
but the story, as a storyteller, you want them to feel like you're there and it's happening to you because you're playing
yeah,
you're playing the character that's there.
yeah. Yeah, that's what I feel like a lot of the times. It's more of when I do my gameplays, I'm telling a story and they're listening to the story, and then
Yes.
they'll probably interact somewhat, and then I'll re-narrate the story and stuff to explain those kinds of things. But then in this, yeah, it's kind of strange for me, and it'd probably be a little bit of a change for me having to the players being like, "No, I was there," or "I was," and not going into too much narrative talk as like a GM or even a
How
player.
What do you
Yeah.
think is like the thing that you could push to the players that they might pick up on more easily? We've done the live stream just yesterday where we talked a
Yeah.
lot about inside role play. Of yeah, if you bring it to your table, Like, don't push the whole salami. Like, slice it up in little pieces and see which
Yeah.
ones they really appreciate and go from there.
That's hard because like when I went, I taught like 2 of my players, and I was like, I want to try this out and see how it all plays out for you guys. And they played it. They liked it somewhat. They said it was a bit much. It was a bit much to kind of roll with. And I think I was fleshing it out a lot of it. I was putting out a lot of it. I was like, okay, all in character, all that, you know.
Laying down the law, right? The Ten
Yeah, and then
Commandments.
laying down the law, and then I was like, man, I feel like I'm really kind of putting on them a
Yeah.
lot, you know, and I kind of felt bad for them. And that might be like the reason why a lot of players are kind of just turned from it. They're like, yeah, I don't like it because it's just nothing we do is good. You know, it's always a critique of,
Am I not good enough for you, Andrew? It's like, no, it's not that. It's it's this like new.
you can't say that. Don't say
Yes.
that. Say this. Say this. Say this. But I think the thing that I would probably start off by teaching them is just the getting into character, really, getting that tunnel vision. Like, really, that's all I would care about at
Yeah.
first, is getting them to experience and say, hey, this is what's good about it. You know, getting rid of throwing away. I shouldn't say throwing away the maps because I like maps, but getting rid of that viewpoint.
That is killing your darlings, right? Like, kill your battle map. No, I don't want to. It's beautiful. It's like I got the minis ready and I spent time setting it up. It's hard. For this style, at least for this style of play, you do benefit of letting go of that part, and I think that's what a lot of players like GM struggle with. Of to learn something, to fill up a cup of tea with tea, the cup needs to be empty. If you're already filled up with all of your expectations of how to play, there's no room for 4D. It's like there's no room for it. You already know what you want. But if you want to try it out, you gotta get rid of what's in the cup, toss it out, and try out 4D roleplay.
Yeah, I'd be curious because I'm very artistic kind of person. Like, I draw my characters, I draw
Beautiful.
my monsters, I make all my own maps and everything, and I decorate them, and so it's kind of hard for me to be like, okay. And I don't pre-build. I usually like listen to the stories, and then I'm like, okay, this is where they're going into next. So let me make a map for that. Let me make the monsters that they're actually
Right,
fighting.
that's part of the joy of the hobby, of like preparing this unique scenario for the players that only you can do because you're literally the one doing it.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's kind of like a challenge for me, but no, I think I like that tunnel vision kind of feel for it. I'd probably push into that direction in getting that. I just don't know how. Well, I shouldn't say I don't know how to get them to do that in the tunnel vision.
Well, let's ask like this: do you think you could run a training session like I did? Now that you've experienced it in this style, do you think this would work for your players?
I think I'd probably be better at running it than I would be at playing it. But it's good that I play it so that I can know how it feels like and how to read the players and see their difficulties for it. I might be able to run it. I think I'd be able to run it. I think I'm more descriptive in that way.
What's standing like what? I mean, you're hesitating. So what's the hesitation about then? What's the thing that makes you hesitate? Of I don't know about X. What is X?
For running it for my actual players.
Yeah, like since the framing is a training session. Like I've tried 4D roleplay with you. I understand you bounced off. I'd like to do a training thing. Let's try this for like 20 minutes. It could be so it's very, very light, and after that we can start the real game.
Yeah.
And do it the way you guys are used to.
I feel like there's like going to be a lot of difficulties and stuff. Some players, they don't engage they kind of allow like they piggyback on all the other players
Yeah.
that are active and stuff, so it makes it easier for them. So it might be a big shift for those kind of players, and then just encouraging the players in general to be like, hey, you know what I mean, like uh, this character,
Yes.
and then them having to be like, okay, for me, for running it, the feel of it, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I fully have run. I think just maybe the difficulties that my players might go through, as well as the focus in it. Like I feel like it requires a lot of focus compared to like a normal
Yes.
game, where you're just kind of cool. I can take a break. I can take a breather. I can stop. Like not everybody like because it goes like a circle kind of thing. It's like one, two,
Well,
dun, dun,
we,
dun,
we,
dun.
we never tried it, but you could. How long are your sessions with your players? 3-4 hours?
Yeah, we
Fi-
usually do four or five.
So what if you run the first hour for the role play and you literally have an alarm clock when it says like, okay, we can all relax
Yeah.
now. Let's go back to how we usually do it. And the players are
Yeah.
literally quite like, okay, finally I can ignore this bullshit. Or they could be like, wait,
Yeah.
I enjoyed speaking in characters. So I'm gonna continue with that, but now I'm allowing myself to ask questions.
Yeah.
We never
Yeah.
actually tried to do that on our tables, but I think it's an option you can toy around with, depending on what you think is, most helpful for your table, of course.
Oh yeah. I think because I believe I personally, and I think the players love that relaxing time of this is not
Yes.
stressful.
Yes.
I don't have to like we're all enjoying like it's like a board game. We're
Yes. Yes.
sitting
Yes.
down and we're like, cool. Oh yeah, like I can be in this and I can somewhat not be in this.
Yeah. It's a
But in
casual. It's a
4D, you're
casual
kind of like,
atmosphere. That's why I call
yeah,
it casual, because it is right. It's not
yeah,
derogatory. It's I'm here to enjoy
yeah,
myself and to move minis around and imagine this world sometimes. Maybe you're confused. So yeah, of course, you ask the game master question, and it's the 40 role play is now. Let's get into your head of the character and imagine this
yeah,
world and react to this world, and
yeah,
it's a different atmosphere, and the real world peels away as this imagined world takes place, and it's a
yeah,
different game. That's a different hobby. It's a different
yeah,
style. A
yeah,
4D style of role play. Okay, there we go.
yeah.
I got it out.
Uh-oh. Yeah. No, yeah. I think that's the biggest hurdle right there. Is that like feeling? It's like, okay, yeah, you're gonna have to feel that feeling of going and going. Which I think, like I said, I do like the being able to draw things back sometimes and be like, okay, let's slow it down. Let's not be like one from the next to the next thing to the next thing.
All right. Okay, with that, I mean, we got 90 minutes in the recording. I think we can stop the recording here, unless is there anything else you wanna say or know about 40 roleplay or like feedback on this training session. I didn't even ask for your feedback on how did I do as
How
a,
did
as
you do?
as a game master here.
Um,
You're allowed to criticize me. It's like,
sorry,
it's fine.
sorry, man, you did all right. No, I'm kidding.
God damn
You
it!
did good.
Not again.
Your reviews, I've been checking your reviews. They don't look too good. Um,
it's true. Nobody knows me. I'm too
uh,
underground.
no, it actually went really well. I liked it a lot. I like the way that you did it. I believe I like that you were able to kind of pick up on what kind of story I really wanted and go right into that kind of realm of story. Um, I think my only opposition was that the succeed and the fail. I still feel like I need to understand how I want to go about doing that better. Just because that
Yes.
one was the challenging part for me was because I feel like you get that fear of, ooh, should I say something? Should I not have said something? And then it's like that
Right.
mind,
Yeah.
like you're
Yeah.
trying to stay in character and play in character and keep going, but then you're also like wrestling with yourself, like, ooh, should I have said this or not have said
Is
that?
this
You know what I
okay?
mean?
Like, did I violate the
Yeah.
10 Commandments? Oh no, it's gotta be. I'm banished to hell for this
Yeah.
one. No.
Yeah. You get the looks and stuff.
The look, the GM look. You know it well.
Sorry, guys, having problems with my camera. Nope. But yeah, no. Other than that, everything else, like the story wise, the focus, it helped me to kind of fully understand and engage with the in person, like you said, with this in the skin of the person. So yeah, no.
Fantastic. Beautiful. I cannot get a better endorsement than this. So, last question. It's up to you. I'm gonna
Yep.
either keep this unlisted or put it up as a public thing for people to enjoy and see. Like, oh, okay, what does the training session look like? Are you okay with that, or is it better
Yeah,
private?
absolutely. I'm totally fine. Nope.
All right, beautiful,
I'm good with it.
fantastic. With that, we gotta stop the recording sessions. I'll link to the Discord in the description. All right, goodbye, guys.